Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show with Shireen Adel and myself, Mohammed Abdurrahim. And time now for the first topic of our show, which is the role of the state in stimulating economic growth, and especially the role of mega projects, mega infrastructure projects, to be more specific, in stimulating growth rates, in reducing unemployment, in attracting foreign investments. All of this, of course, with the aim of achieving social justice and raising the standard of living for Egyptian citizens. We are happy here in the studio to introduce to you our dear guest. He is Mr. Hany Abou-El-Fotouh, and he is a banker and economic expert. Good morning, Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh. Thank you for joining the Breakfast Show.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Hany. First, we'd like you to shed light on the importance of the mega projects inaugurated by the President and its impact on the economy.
Thank you very much indeed for inviting me here today. Let me just give you a piece of information about the national projects and the mega projects. Since the year 2014 and until today, according to a recent report released by the Information Center of the Egyptian Cabinet, the number of projects, the national projects from year 2014 until year 2018 is estimated at 15,300 projects at a cost of nearly 4 trillion Egyptian pounds. If we're speaking about the contribution of the national projects to the economy, let me explore a very important point, which is the growth rate, the progress of the growing the economy since year 2014. The GDP rate at that time was 2.92%. Now we are nearing the end of year 2019. It is expected that the growth rate will reach 5.6%. So it's very evident and clear that the national projects and the mega projects, including the infrastructure projects, have contributed significantly to growing the economy in Egypt. The projects which now are increasing and opening from day to day, they contribute significantly to the welfare of the average Egyptian person, citizen.
Right. Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh, as you mentioned, the growth rate has nearly doubled since 2014 till today. So that is very positive. What about reducing unemployment? How has mega projects, especially infrastructure projects, helped in reducing unemployment?
This is a very good question, because when you open a project on these large scales, you would expect that these projects will generate jobs. It is estimated, according to a recent report, that the mega projects have contributed to 3 million jobs since its opening in year 2014. So reducing the unemployment is expected. Now the unemployment rate ranges between 7 to 7.5%, down from 13% in year 2012.
That's almost halving the unemployment rate. That is also very positive. But the question that comes to mind to many people, yes, growth rates are doubling. Yes, unemployment is at historical rates, low historical rates. But again, the average citizen is not yet feeling the fruits of these good numbers. In most cases.
Yes, I tend to agree with you. Why the average citizen doesn't feel the outcome or the fruits of the economic reform program? Let me remind you that the economic program started in year 2000, 16 now. It's
The
nearly
flotation of the pound?
yeah, with the flotation. Flotation was a procedure, a major procedure in the economic program.
In order to get the IMF loan, yes.
Yes, exactly. This economic reform program is a medium-term program. So naturally, the outcome or the fruits of the economic program would be achieved or realized in the medium term as well.
Okay.
So we have seen, everybody has seen in one way or another, the outcome of the economic programs in terms of the new roads, the new projects, the unemployment rate, which is now, as we
historically
said,
low rates. Yes.
Low rates. So some of the fruits are tangible, some of the outcome is yet to be realized.
So, sir, how do you see the importance of digital transformation in attracting the digital transformation of the economy in attracting more investors?
Digital transformation is a global trend.
Yes.
It is not just opening of new bank accounts through the internet or settling the government dues through electronic channels. It's far wider than this limited scope. So the scope of the transformation, the digital transformation, is gradually converting the services of the government and other entities to web-based or doing these services electronically, and this way we are cutting down the exchange of cash or the circulation of cash in the economy. A recent report revealed that the cost of cash handling in the economy is nearly 94 billion pounds a year. So if we cut down this cost, this of course would be a major advantage in this area, on this front.
Sure, Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh. I want to go back to one of the biggest projects in Egypt in the past years, the development of the Suez Canal area, and of course the digging of the new Suez Canal. How do you see the importance of the Suez Canal economic zone in specific in supporting the national economy and attracting direct investments, foreign direct investments?
Let me explain that the economic zone is one of the major projects in Egypt, and it is designed to serve the global or the world trade through 6 seaports and 4 industrial zones. The Suez Canal economic zone was built on an area estimated at 460 square kilometers. And if you would imagine that this area is equivalent to the state of Singapore. It is designed to be a hub for the world trade and to contribute significantly in attracting foreign investment. In doing this, the economic zone has its own law. It has modern infrastructure. It has incentives to attract investors. By way of example, Egypt has concluded zero tax, 0% customs with 46 countries, Arab countries and African countries. And also there are several non-financial incentives, including one-stop investor outlet and other procedures that makes investment more convenient for the investors.
Right, Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh.
Also, Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh, can you tell us more about the importance of the new cities in increasing economic growth and reducing unemployment?
The new cities actually provide or engage several economic sectors, not only the contracting, erection sector, but other sectors that all contribute to the work of these cities, new cities. When the new cities are erected, they involve contracting, erection sectors, they create jobs, and all companies involved in these sectors, working in these sectors, work in almost full capacity. If they work in full capacity, they would expect that the outcome is actually good business results, creating more jobs, and all that contribute to growing the economy.
Right. Also, Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh, another new area here is the and it goes with the new cities, the administrative capital. The state has launched the administrative capital on an area of 168 acres with an estimated capital of £6 billion and scheduled, of course, to transfer agencies and governmental institutions and ministries over there soon. How do you see the role of the administrative capital in helping, again, the economy grow, and also in redistributing the population and in reducing unemployment as well?
Likewise, the administrative capital is a huge project, is a mega project. It is expected to move most of the government offices to the new administrative capital by mid of next year, precisely, if my memory serves me right, in April 2020. Many companies and many sectors were assigned jobs in the administrative capital, and as I mentioned earlier, the new administrative capitals have created many jobs for companies and for individuals. So this is as well contributes to growing the economy and reflects very positively on reducing the unemployment.
Right.
So, sir, how do you read international reports regarding the performance of the Egyptian economy?
The international reports, by way of example, the recent Fitch report, they praised the progress of the Egyptian economy following the implementation of the economic reform program, which has impressed even the IMF administration. If we look at the economic indicators, we find that Egypt has achieved more than expected in terms of the growth, achieving a significant growth rate. If we are speaking about 5.6%, we are doing very well in comparison or as opposed to other countries. Particularly, the world is slowing. The economy of the world is slowing down significantly. So we have done a lot in order to achieve this progress. This progress. If we are talking in terms of the foreign exchange reserve, the foreign exchange reserve was lowest at $16 billion in year 2012, if my memory serves me right. Now we are speaking about nearly $45 billion. No more queues for importers in banks. Banks are able now to open letters of credits for importations of all kinds of commodities without any problems, unlike what had been in the past.
Certainly remittances from Egyptians abroad and the return of tourism to near its normal levels or near its highest levels before the 2011 revolution has helped in increasing.
Certainly, I fully agree with you. I cannot agree more.
Sir, I wanted to ask you about the power plants. There has been 3 power plants that have been opened in Beni Suef recently. To what extent do these plants provide necessary energy that we need for much needed industrial projects?
Getting back to the generation of the electrical power and the status before 30th June revolution, I think every one of us recalls that we had severe problem in electricity shortage, and the electricity power was down for several hours and every day. Needless to mention, the factories of the industries were very badly affected because of the shortage of power. Following the revolution, Egypt built several power stations, electric power stations, mega power stations, and now we have excess production to the extent that Egypt now exports power, electricity to 7 countries, Arab and African countries. So we no longer have a problem for the production of power for the household sector and for the industries. And definitely this is a very, very good achievement on this front.
Sure.
So, Mr. Hany, the Cabinet's Information Center announced that Egypt jumped 89 places in roads quality rankings by the global economy from 118th in 2014 to 29th in 2019, and now it's 89. So how do you evaluate the government efforts in the infrastructure, in making infrastructure more easy for citizens?
On this particular issue, I would like to mention that Egypt has done a lot in terms of improving the quality and the number of bridges and new roads. I would recall the figure for this huge project as recently published in a report. It said that the national road network is estimated now at £157 billion, and the completion rate of the roads and bridges is nearly 72% now. So this improvement signifies the improvement in the index, as you have just said, and is very important for attracting local and foreign investment, because if we don't have good roads, airports, bridges, you wouldn't be able to build new cities and to assist in the flow of internal, domestic and international trade. Because if Egypt as a hub, as a logistic hub, you need roads, you need bridges, you need seaports, all that complement the vision of the Egypt to be a central hub for trade in the region and to boost the investment, whether domestic or international.
Right, sir. And now the new Asyut barrages and its hydroelectric plant also came as one of the most important energy projects recently. How do you see the importance of this specific project in providing energy and water? Water needed to reclaim new land in Upper Egypt.
The new Asyut barrages and its hydroelectric water plant is actually the second largest water plant after the High Dam. It is erected, the studies for the project started in year 2012, and in year 2017 or 18, I don't actually really remember the exact date, it was launched. And in terms of irrigation, the main purpose of this plant is to improve the status of irrigations for 5 governorates in Upper Egypt, and this would help in increasing the cultivated land by 20%. So
20%?
Yes, by 20%. So I feel this is a very important project, and the expectation that the outcome of this project would be realized in reality is very evident.
Right, especially that Upper Egypt, and for years we've been saying Upper Egypt specifically needs more and more projects and to uplift poverty there and to raise the living standard there, which has not been at required levels.
One more advantage for this project is improving the Nile navigation, and this is important for tourism as well.
Right, Mr. Al-Fatouh.
And sir, how do you see President Fattah al-Sisi's interest in encouraging local industry and expanding industrial zones?
The directives of the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to focus on promoting the local industry comes much in line with the Egypt Vision 2030. So without an industrial base, a good industrial base, no progress, real progress would be achieved. So new industries actually would help in creating sort of self-sufficiencies in certain areas, and this is actually is much needed and is in line with the Egypt Vision 2030.
Right. Mr. Abou-El-Fotouh, the Bin Ban solar project, how do you see the importance again of energy production from renewable sources at this time, at this moment in history? Renewables.
Renewable energy. The renewable energy, in fact, is an important issue globally because the world is speaking about having clean environment, more friendly generation of electricity, and lowering the warmth of the earth. It's been damaging all these side effects of gases and other things hardening the environment have been taken in consideration by all countries. So the renewable energy is coming from solar energy, from the sun, from water, from wind, generate clean and friendly environment, and that's exactly what Egypt is aiming to achieve in order to generate an environment that is clean and healthy for its people.
Right.
So finally, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Hany Abou-El-Fotouh, economic expert. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Dear viewers, please stay with us. Shireen and I will be back momentarily.